Chapter 5. Systems and Trends. It's in our nature to look for patterns, from sporting events to the stock market. And of course, baccarat is no different. For the operator, it keeps us curious. And for the player, it adds a little bit more interest to the game. So for this, I'm going to hand you over to Imogen, our trends expert, because this is where it all starts to get a little bit nerdy.
Thank you, Tony. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. Before electronic display screens were introduced on the gaming tables, players would often be found hunched over a gridded scorecard. This scorecard would generally be covered with noughts and crosses, circles and arrows and notes in a variety of colours, in a vague attempt to make sense out of the chaos. This arduous task has now been transferred to an electronic scoreboard via an intelligent shoe to become what is known as the trend. So what is the trend exactly? The trend is recording how many repeated wins there are on either the player, banker or the tie. This is done by the player recording the outcome on a game card or via the electronic display board, which is current in the majority of live casinos these days. The electronic version is preferred because not only does it free up players' time, it also provides many other game stats, such as how many hands have been dealt, how many of those hands were player, banker or tie, how many were naturals or player-banker pairs, and so on. Without getting too involved in the mechanics, which would only complicate matters, especially if you're a beginner, the trend quite simply follows the game result, marking a player win, bank win, and tie on an electronic scorecard, with the display linked to what they call an intelligent shoe, which is able to read the card value as it's drawn from the shoe. As we look a little closer, we can see that there are in fact multiple game cards. In this version, as with many, we have the big road. This will have a similar layout to the handwritten version, which is located directly beneath what is called the bead plate. Both these areas are fairly straightforward, and all that the vast majority of players keep track of. All of these game cards have specific trend names, and they are the bead plate, the big road, the small road, the big eye boy, and the cockroach pig. I guess they must have run out of catchy names at this point, huh? The bead plate records the result from the top left downwards. Once the beads get to the bottom left, it simply begins a new column. Red means a bank win, blue means a player win, and the green bead represents a tie. A red dot on the top left means banker pair, and a blue dot bottom right indicates a player pair. A greyed out corner means a natural. The big road works in the same way as the bead plate, only it moves to a new column every time the trend changes. The result of the first coup appears in the top left corner. Here we see a column of 6 players. This is then followed by 3 banks, and so on. If there is a run of more than 6, it will continue across the bottom. This is known as a dragon tail. The 3 remaining roads, the big eye boy, the small road, and the cockroach pig, are where it all starts heading off into nerd territory. These trends are all based on predictability and chaos. A red circle indicates predictability, and a blue circle is a sign of chaos, except on the cockroach pig where check marks are used in place of circles, just in case you weren't confused enough already. As Michael Shackelford from Wizard of Oz tells us, baccarat is a basic coin flip game. It does not help to look for patterns, and that many players troll around the casino looking at scoreboards hoping to find a dragon tail to slap their money on. Often these displays have prominent red and blue lights on top that grow more intense to indicate the trend one way or the other. These are designed to lure you in, so be careful. Keep your smart head on and remember that you're not so easily fooled.
And there you have it. Have fun with the trend if you like, as long as it doesn't cost you any money, and avoid getting sucked into the belief that there's some kind of system in there. People believe in these systems and trends all over the world, and casino operators love these people with such strong beliefs as it keeps them coming. Chaos is random by nature. It might look like there's some order, but there's not really. And therein lies the illusion, trap. Better we keep our eye on something a little bit more tangible like our spend, and think about who it is who's playing who.